Right, come on then. Let's have a sensible conversation about AI. But before we do that, let's do the English pleasantry of talking about the weather just ever so quickly. It's been a bit windy in the UK over the last few days, hasn't it? Ooh, scary dairy. And it's died down enough. It's starting to rain a little bit, but we'll brave that. But it's died down a little bit. You can probably still hear it. Hopefully you can hear me. But it's died down enough where I thought, you know, let's get out in the woods. Died down enough where I thought maybe a tree won't land on me. But you never know, do you? You never know, because that's life, isn't it? Life carries an element of a risk. We know when we leave our homes, if you dare, you pleb, how dare you leave your pod, pleb? If you leave your pod, your home, there's going to be an element of risk in that, isn't there? Always, no matter what you do. And we used to be pretty comfortable with that, to the point where I remember as a teenager, it was very stormy, very windy, and I went out on my bike. And the wind kicked up that much that it actually blew me off my bike. Actually, I remember just going sideways, blew me almost into the road. And I got up, had a bit of a giggle, and got back on my bike, trying to pull it towards the wind, and found it highly entertaining and funny. And at that time, that storm didn't have a name. They weren't giving storms names. I hadn't received an emergency message on my phone to warn me to never leave my pod again, because I didn't have a phone. Or at that time, certainly didn't have one that was smart. And I wasn't guilted or made to feel guilty for which direction the wind was blowing in because of my actions. And now I have to go do some DEI course in wind and climate lack of equality and how it's not inclusive enough. I don't know. They are turning us into wimps, that's for sure, isn't it? Eh? Being turned into wimps, being turned into absolute puces. And these freaking smartphones have got a lot to do with it, and the messages that are being bleeped out at us. In fact, there was meant to be a national message go out in the UK again, wasn't there? Oh, I didn't get anything. I don't know whether it's happened yet, but rumours were that we were going to have another one, another big text message, beep, beep, beep. Whether it's a practice again. Practice for what? Who knows? Maybe a bit more windy pops. But anyway, let's get back to it. AI. Do we really appreciate just how much things are going to change when AI comes into play? And I mean really comes into play. Obviously we've had Trump come out recently saying that they're going to pump a hell of a lot of cashola investment, something like, what was it, 500 billion into AI and AI infrastructure. That's not chicken feed, is it? He also said about the mRNA for the old cancer jabs as well, didn't he? God, they want that juice in you. They want that mRNA in you somewhere, don't they? Yeah, whether it's for the latest thing or cancer's going to be even bigger. That's some big business there, isn't it? So Trump's come out and said about this massive investment. And in true lockstep style, can you hear the rain actually? It's starting to pick up now actually. But I'm sheltered enough. Let's find some more shelter. Let's go up in the hills and I will pant as I try and keep my breath, because I ain't been exercising enough. And in true lockstep fashion, Keir Starmer here has also said that AI is going to be a massive part of our infrastructure as well, and of course it all comes out at the same time, doesn't it? Whatever investment they say or development they say is going to take place, That's what bloody arms. Whatever investment or development they say is going to take place, the technology that they're telling us that they have right now is far more advanced than they're telling us. So there's something already in play. I'm of the open-minded point of view, in fact, that we are already in some form of AI type world, maybe virtual type existence. I am open-minded enough to think something like that, because if we look at the direction of technology and where it's actually going, if we reverse engineer that, it's basically where they want to take us anyway. So this very thing, that this ground I'm walking on now, these trees, them cars racing behind me, could quite easily be some sort of virtual AI type thing. But anyway, back to having a sensible conversation, although I think that's pretty sensible. If we appreciate just how much things are going to change when AI comes in, I mean, like full force, like how it's going to change jobs, how they're going to get AI to pretty much do everything, how it's going to change the law, because they're just going to get AI to decide everything. Let's say there's a court case assessed by the new lawyers, which will be AI. Will it make a mistake? Who will be behind that, really? All interesting stuff. But I find, when I start to think about how AI is really going to change stuff and how things are never going to be the same again, it's actually both terrifying, which I try not to think like that, because you can get stuck in the mud a little bit with that sort of thinking and that fear-based thought process. So I try not to do that. So I also do, I've just climbed a hill, by the way. AI, help me! AI, project rocket boosters! Friggin' hell. AI didn't eat all that food and drink over Christmas that carried into January, did it? No, that was me. Yeah, it's just going to change everything. I try not to get bogged down too much in the fear side of thinking about just how much everything's going to change and how different it's going to be for the next generations, and whether that's actually a good or bad thing. Because honestly, I'm not sure. My general feeling is that it ain't going to be good. Why? Well, if I was to sum it up, if we think about what is good and what is bad, what is, or even evil, you could say good and evil. When I think about what is good and evil, what is good is real. What is bad or could be perceived as evil isn't real. It has no substance. It isn't reality. So therefore, that, when you think about it, actually does encapsulate AI. That's what AI is. It's not real. It's artificial. That's not good. Hey, we could have a whole freaking debate about what is real and what isn't. And, you know, I started off by saying that this could actually be some sort of virtual reality. But it's how it's going to operate. How it's then going to come into our lives. What it's going to do. What it's going to take over. How lazy are people going to get? Are we even going to have to think anymore? Are we even going to have to be as creative anymore? Because that's the thing, isn't it? Creativity, the essence of the good things of what it means to be a human. It could take a lot of that away potentially, couldn't it? Interesting stuff. So I try not to be too fear-based with the thinking, and just ponder a little bit, be a little bit more interested in it. But anyway, I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. What do you think about it all? You have a great day. Ta-ta.